Good morning, everybody in Bracknell and everyone else who can hear my music blasting loud out of the window. I'm sure my neighbours are going to complain at some point. That now that I can hear my own music as it plays out, I have it really loud. It's such a powerful piece, don't you think? It puts me in a really good mood hearing that. It puts me in a really good mood. It's so powerful. Well, a very good morning to you, boys and girls. It's Saturday, the 4th of April 2020. A warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk to you. Shall we say hello to some early people this morning? Let's see who we got there. Jayson Hughes, first in with a text message. Morning, Jayson. Mike Rees-Ponto, Dr. Gregorian, did his own little chat show last night. I just managed to pop in there for a couple of minutes and join you for your show last night just before I went into the shower. I had to scrape a few more layers off, dear. You want to get who's got a power shower? Oh, wonderful. You put it right up. The only thing is, a power shower, they do make quite a lot of noise. And I must ask my neighbour, actually. Sometimes I might do a late night shower. It's quite nice to have a shower before you go to bed, isn't it? Do you do that? Oh, it's lovely, dear. Although don't have it too... You see, I have it too hot. Perhaps that's what keeps me awake sometimes. I have it lovely and hot. You know, time I come out of there, there's no... I've got no skin left. It's all... I have been skinned in my own shower. What a terrible thing to happen. You've got to be so careful, dear. So careful. I had, and up at the caravan, I had the water heater changed there because the shower there was a bit pathetic. You know? When you're used to a power shower powering off the layers, and I can see some of you in here this morning need a blooming good shower. Look at the dirty people here today. Can you please have a wash? Or at least brush your teeth before you turn up to watch my show in the morning? How rude, dear. Rude. That's what it is, rude. Talking to dirty people, I bumped into one today. Not literally, but honestly, that's coming up in a moment or two. Lots of lovely stories for you today, boys and girls. Lots of more people have been added to the bingo this week. Okay. Unfortunately, the new bingo prizes have yet to arrive. They may come today. I don't know. The post is exceedingly slow at the moment. We understand that. I don't complain, you know. I'm not getting on, ow, where's my thing? I'll just leave him to it, and when it comes sort of thing. But yes, so we might be just having the pens for the first and second line prizes. Okay, or you might have a clock. There's a clock there. There's one. A few of you have got my clocks now. Very, very exclusive, dear. Very. How many people have got one of those in the world? Answer, about 4. About 4. There was a story, actually. I didn't pull it up to read out to you. But there was a story about some bloke or some family. They've got all this food. They've like stockpiled food, panic bought, you know, so none of us else can have any. And it says we're protecting it with ball-bearing guns and another type of gun. Not a normal gun. What's the other thing? Air rifle. Ball-bearing gun, some ball-bearing thing, and an air rifle. They're protecting our food. I think, forget your food. What about my toot? What about my toot? People are desperate for this stuff. They're desperate, dear. Desperate for my toot. Do you like my toot? How do you spell that? Is it T-O-O-T or is there another spelling for that? Toot. United Kingdom toot. I can make an advert. You can make an advert. Which item of United Kingdom toot will you be requiring today, sir? Yes. What was I saying then? I've gone completely off the planet again, haven't I, there? How did we get onto the subject of toot? Never mind, we'll carry on, dear. We'll carry on. Morning to Dr. Gregorian. Oh, that's what I was saying, yes. So I went into a shower last night while you were... Time I come off, you'd gone. So I hope you had a nice little show there, Dr. Gregorian. Lots of people doing their own shows, aren't there now? Facebook Live. Not so much on YouTube. Not so much on YouTube. It tends to be all on Facebook Live or something else. I can't remember what it was now. Can't remember the other thing. Oh, and TikTok, of course. TikTok, which we are loving the TikTok. Please join me on TikTok. Download the app, TikTok, TikTok, and look for me there. Chris Reardon UK is my username on there. And lots of other wonderful talents, including the latest TikTok star, which is great nephew James, nearly 3 years old. He did one yesterday with his mum, my niece. My niece is good at it. She's just started doing it as well. Her lip syncing is fantastic. I think I put one of her up on my wall. I think I did, or did I put James up, or both of them? I can't remember now. Anyway, James is up on my Facebook wall, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. I'll put one of my niece up as well later. But we're loving the TikTok videos. I did another one this morning before I went out. I've already been out this morning. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Morning to Mandy Davenport, Diane Jeb, good morning. There's our Shania. Good morning, Shania. Adam the Plumber, morning. Morning to Rachel. Morning, Rachel. Mrs. Bouquet. Good morning to Michael Lawrence. Scotty Goodwin is there. Good morning, Scotty. Are you new? Just a moment. Let me just... oh, no, it's not. It's you, is it? Hello, Scotty Goodwin Vlogs. Morning to Scotty. Hello to Alan Wainwright, John Aitken, Gavin Bass, Colin Coates. John's had a shower and a shave this morning. I look like Steptoe. Oh, John, you look wonderful anyway, darling. You know that, my love. Isn't it funny how, like, people like yourself and me, we've never aged, have we? You look exactly the same as you did when you was working at that cruise bar. Can't remember what it was called now. Good morning to Gary's British Talk Show, who says it's freezing in Wales. Unfortunately, Gary's fallen prey to the copyright police. We did warn you, Gary. You can't get away with playing music. You really can't, mate. Let me just tell you something, Gary. What you don't want on YouTube, and you probably didn't get one. It's quite rare to. It seems to be quite rare to get one. You do not want a copyright strike. You only get 3 of those, and then you close down. You do not want. You get a copyright warning, or right. That is different to a copyright strike. If you get a copyright strike, you'll get an email. You have had a copyright strike. You do not want one of those on YouTube, because while you're trying to grow that channel, you get one of those, 2 of those, last chance. And see, the thing is, people think they can get away with it. Oh, I'd just play 5 seconds of that tune. No one will notice. No, you can't. No, you can't. You might be lucky and just get a little warning saying, oh, you've played copyright material. This is not a copyright strike. If you get that, all well and good. All well and good. But you don't want a copyright strike. Be very, very careful, Gary. Don't play bits of music from other people. I don't know if you can play an instrument or something like that. Perhaps you could do like a music round where you playing like a note like that or 2, something like that. Just a little tip for you there, Gary. All right? Good luck with your show. I love the way you've got the background there. Are you green screen? I'm thinking you're green. Well, it's not actually a green screen, is it anymore? It's like a. Is that what you're doing? Is that picture behind you? Presumably, that's not like real. Like, this is real. You see, this is actually pinned up on the wall. I think yours is like a superimposed thing or something like that. Looks very good. I have to say, it looks very good. Morning to all the silent viewers as always. Rachel always thinks of the silent viewers. Aren't you lovely, Rachel? Always thinking of other people. Such a nice creature. Such a nice creature. Shania wants a clock. Maybe you'll win one tomorrow, Shania. Maybe you'll win one tomorrow in the big game at 9 o'clock. 2 other games, of course, 8 and 8:30. Toot, John, toot, toot. Clocks, hats, pens, T-shirts, toot, toot. Toot, darling, toot. I don't even know what it stands for. A very good morning to David Hunt. Good morning, David. How are you today? Nice to see you up so early, awaiting work. See if he gets any work today. How did you do last night? Did you go? I would imagine you have more. Oh, it won't make any difference now, does it? Whatever night is, it's all the same. I saw someone put a post on Facebook the other day saying it's really weird. You know, every day is now Sunday. Like, so, and you have an actual Sunday, and then you wake up the next day, and it's still Sunday. And then you go to bed, and you wake up the next day, and it's still Sunday. Not so much if you're like an entertainer type person, you know, because you work every day, including Sundays. A lot of people. I used to work every night of the week. I did it for years. I used to do 8 DJ jobs a week, 2 on a Sunday, 1 in the afternoon and 1 in the evening. In the afternoon, I worked at a place called the Penny Farthing. I'm sure you went there, John. David would know about that. You probably didn't go, David. But I used to set up there in a corner. This is going back here, Christ, at least 26, 27 years, at least 26 years. I used to go to this club. I must be very careful what I say to you. I don't want to give too much away, dear. I used to go to this club called Trade, right? So I'd work at a pub till 3 o'clock in the morning, the Black Cap. From there, I'd dash home, right? Have a cup of tea, a piece of toast, do me hair. I had hair then. I'd jump back in the car and come back to London, to Clerkenwell, to a club called Turnmills, and the night was called Trade, right? So I'd get there 4:30 a.m., 4:30 in the morning. In we'd go, all off our heads, dancing all night long, right? That would go on till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but I'd leave at 11 a.m. and go straight to do a little bit of personality DJing at a place called the Penny Farthing. Yeah, that's what I used to do, John. And then after there, I used to go to my mum's. So I'd come over Hammersmith Bridge, John. I'd stop at Barnes Common for a little while, for a little bit of a walk around. And then I'd go to my mum's and have dinner. Completely on another planet. Awful, innit? I did that for years. Ow, aren't you glad you don't do that anymore? No. Oh, you must be so much happier now. No. That was way, way back in the 90s. Way, way back in the 90s. I'm sure you did something similar. And you, David Hunt. Perhaps not so much in the 90s, you. Oh, sorry. Let's have a look there. Just jumping forward a little bit there with the... What happens is that when there's so many messages, when you move the wheel down to move the messages down, it like literally jumps forward 200 messages, you know. Let's go there. We are... Scotty, it's the third time he's been here now. It's the third time he's been here now. You can't get enough, can you? You'll soon get bored. They get bored in the end. People get bored of me in the end. Yeah, I think it's too much. Maybe there should just be 1 10-minute show a week. Would that be enough for you? John says, I wish I looked the same as I was in 1993. You're not far off it, darling. You know that. Morning to Claire. It's her first time here on a Saturday morning. Good morning to you, Claire. Morning to Scammer Basher. Morning to you. Adam, you could do a TikTok video in the style of the Generation Game using your toot. Life is the name of the game. And I want to play. Do you remember the music to the Conveyor Belt? I can't find that anywhere. Doesn't seem to be available. You could... I mean, it's there. Some people upload old TV shows, as you well know. I'm sure Bruce Forsyth is there, and they show you the Conveyor Belt. The only thing is he's talking all over it. I suppose I could try and play it on the piano. I remember the music. It used to go, doo-doo-doo-doo, and on the Conveyor Belt tonight, doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da 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 da. Ah! Do you remember it? Bruce Forsyth's Generation Game. I went to see that at television theatre in Shepherd's Bush. It's gone now. That's gone. It's now some sort of entertainment venue, isn't it? I can't remember what it is now. That's closed, of course, at the moment. But yeah, I went to the television theatre in Shepherd's Bush to see Bruce Forsyth's Generation Game. It was fab. It took hours to record that. Hours, yeah. And I think we got there something like, I don't know, 6 o'clock. I don't think we came out until about 10:30. It was great. Really great. That was when Bruce Forsyth was first on, not his second lot. So that was way, way long ago. I think I was about 17 or 18, something like that. Let's have a look here. It's tat, Chris. Is it tat? No, it's toot. Toot, darling. Toot. Tat, toot. It's all the same, dear. Morning to Tony King. Poor David Hunt's slightly hungover. Oh, dear. Do you need your little temples rubbed, David? I can come and rub your temples for you. You need a little bit of some sort of, cream or something like that rubbed deeply into your temples. That's what you need. I could do that for you. You can just lay back with your head like that on my lap, and I'll massage gently your I was going to say tentacles then. What are they called again? Oh, I forgot the word now. Your temples. Your temples. That's what he needs. Scrolling down there, my darlings. Let's have a look. Good morning to Oz Clark. Good morning, Oz Clark. Welcome to our show, Oz. Just a little bit of madness we do every morning. It's not always people's cups of tea. They soon go. Don't worry about them. Morning to Dave Lois. Good morning, Dave Moses. Morning. Dave, I was asking you the other day and you didn't respond. I'm very disappointed, Dave. You know, I try and respond to everyone's messages as much as I can, but sadly you didn't respond to my message, darling, that I echoed on here. So I'll ask again. Bingo programs. Someone do you think Mr. Moses, your brother, would be able to help me with my bingo program? Eh? The toilet roll isn't here today. It's not here. I have an emergency toilet. I'm not going to run out. Has anyone noticed you're using less stuff? I use a lot less stuff now. For example, dinners. Okay? Now, normally I'll open a box of 2 burgers. I only have 1 now. I don't even notice it. I don't even notice the fact that I'm only having 1 instead of 2. Funny, isn't it? Toilet paper. Now, I could get through a roll every 2 days. Not anymore. 1 roll is lasting over a week. Just a little bit. Fold it over carefully. Use. Not using half the amount. Shower gel. Shower gel. Well, I could get through a bottle in 3 or 4 showers. Honestly. Now, just a little bit, and that's enough. That is actually enough. I mean, I wonder if we'll stay like this after all this dreadful stuff is over, whenever that may be. Some people talking Easter. Some people talking July. I personally think around September could go on even longer. Well, don't know. Don't know. Completely unknown, isn't it? I wonder if we'll continue as we are now. And I said on the show yesterday, all these people that are flown all over the world to various meetings and things like that, well, they now will do it on video. And I mentioned that on the show yesterday. And then, funnily enough, it came up on the news and someone else was saying that. Yeah, you've got all these CEOs, you know, the people at the top of companies, right, who are used to, paying out for their managers to fly to Vegas for a concert or, I don't know, somewhere else, you know, wherever, right? They're now doing those same meetings on the video chat things, various different methods. I gather Zoom seems to be a popular one, which I don't know that one, I haven't used it. Right, so they're all doing that now. Now, when we come through this, and we will come through this, you know, not everyone, sadly, will still be alive. I hope we all will here. Touch wood. Fine, touch some wood now. Okay? But I think these CEOs are going, well, hang on a minute. You know, this has been working very well. People working from home. Not just like managers and that, doing their video conferencing. Lots of other people now working from home where they didn't used to. Now, I've got a friend who's, he's got lots of bits and pieces wrong with him, right? And has to write to the council now and again to get this done or get some money for this, that and the other. And I said to them, how do you, surely it's taking a long time now to get replies. And they said, no, it's not. Because now they're working from home, right? They're working from home. And this is with lots of jobs now. People who do office jobs, typing away, I suppose, secretaries, that sort of people. People who work in council places, like I just mentioned, large companies, they can do it all from home. So you send an email, it's diverted to their home, and they deal with you there. It's all dealt with there. And I suppose if money has to be sent to you, then they can all do it from home. So why not just carry on like that afterwards? It kind of makes sense. There'll be a lot less cars on the road, a lot less people on the trains. You wouldn't need vast buildings using up vast amounts of electricity because, you know, I think if everyone was in their own home, it wouldn't use, you yourself would of course use more electricity, and the country as a whole would use more electricity in people's houses. But I reckon that wouldn't be as much as having to heat a completely separate office block. You wouldn't need these office blocks. You drive down the Euston Road sometimes and all these places, and they're lit up all night long. Great big offices, All the lights are on all night long. I go past them at 7 o'clock at night, 6, 7 o'clock at night, on my way to the pub to do my karaoke night. And I come back at anything between sort of 11 and 1 o'clock in the morning. All the lights are on in the block. No one in there. All these computer terminals, you can see the screens. They're all on. Wouldn't need that. Wouldn't need that. Who would be sitting at home, right? So you do your day's work, and you've got to be sort of fairly strict to yourself about this. You do your day's work, and then you finish. You're going to leave all your stuff on all night long? Of course you're not. You turn it all off. So that's got to be better. Less people flying around to various different countries. I can see this, a lot of what we're doing now, this is going to become like normal. People working from home. And you don't need an awful lot of space. You'd need perhaps a little area in the corner of your living room where you've got your computer and that set up. I can see this carrying on. Stuff like this. A lot more people working from home, and you'd have less office blocks and all this business going on, and then less people travelling. It makes sense, doesn't it? It absolutely makes sense. And it's a shame that we've had to come across something as absolutely ghastly as this damn virus thing to realise that actually we don't need to be driving into work or anything like that. Worth a thought. I can see it carrying on. I really can see it carrying on. Good morning to Fran Green. Morning to Fran. You're talking to each other there. Let's just scroll down a bit. Morning to Luke Trotts. Hello to Luke. I may miss out some of your messages here because there's so many of them. Let's have a look there. Michael Pullman. Morning, Michael. I saw your little video of your walk around in the forest yesterday. Wonderful. I've got to tell you, boys and girls, Michael's in Australia. I need to tell you, walking in the forest in Australia is not the same as walking in the forest in the UK. Nasty spiders, snakes, you've got to keep your eye open. And they had this bird. Now, what's it called? Cassandri, something like that. And it looks a little bit like a mini ostrich type thing. You'll have to tell me what it's called again, Michael. I can't remember. Cassandra bird? And anyway, so this bird, it'll probably run away from you, Matt. But if you get near its nest, it won't be happy. And it's got like this, in its foot, this bit that sticks out, almost like a blade, right? It can disembowel you. That's their way of fighting. They come up to you, whoo, big split, all your guts fall out everywhere. What an awful way to die. I mean, is that instant? Is it instant to die? I don't suppose it is. There you'd be in the Daintree rainforest in Cairns. You'd be there. You'll be picking up your guts, trying to push it all back in. Perhaps a bit of gaffer tape round your stomach, wouldn't you? And all up here. Literally, that's how they fight. Very, very sharp bottom of their feet. Don't go near those great big birds. Can't remember what they're called, Cassandra or something like that. Michael will tell us in a moment. John's joined Zoom. It's very good. I'll have a look at that then. Is there an app for that, John? Zoom? I'll have a look at that. Tony reckons his money's on things being more relaxed by the end of June. Fran always has one burger, 2 sausages, obviously. I had two vegan sausage rolls yesterday. I've got some in the freezer from Aldi that I bought some time ago. I popped down to the shops this morning. Oh, I wish I hadn't. I'll come to you in a moment. Zoom's brilliant, says Luke. I'll have a look for that. I'll have a look at that. Mick Davenport, my bank balance is rising because we're not spending so much. Same here, Mick. To be honest, and well, actually, no, it's not rising because I've got I'm down quite a lot. I'm down quite a lot of money because obviously I'm not doing the karaoke. That being said, I'm not sure that I need it. To be honest, there's no money being spent on petrol. Well, there's 50 quid a week petrol. No money being spent on petrol. Really, I would need. The job I would need to still want to do it, really, I think, by the time we come out of all this. I would need to still want to do it. Where are we now? Dave's been busy staring at his beige walls. Well, that's a problem, Dave. Boring colour. Beige. Get yourself something nice, like a nice, bright, luminous green or red. Boring. Beige? You're like my mate's house. He's got grey walls. I mean, grey. How depressing is that? We want multicolours, dear. Multicolours. Bright colours. That's what we need in our houses to keep us happy. Perhaps you could pick up a paintbrush, David. Pick up a paintbrush and start doing it, eh? Eh? You could do something like that. I wish I was interested in painting and decorating, because here is your ideal opportunity, isn't it, eh? I would love to try. I can't do it. First of all, I make an awful lot of mess. I don't know how it happens. I'll have the roller like this, you know, and I'll look at the floor, speckles of paint all over the place. Why is that? My sister does it, and it's that doesn't happen. Me, and I can see it coming down at me like a rain. It's awful. I was listening to a bloke on the radio the other day on the same sort of thing. He says, urinals, you know, men's urinals, filthy places. He said he was in somewhere once, and he said he couldn't work out whether it was the way the sun was coming through the window in this public toilet or pub toilet or something like that, and it was going at the urinal, and he was amazed at the amount of spray that comes back at you when you hit the back of the urinal. You don't even notice it. It's not like a powerful spray that comes out. Say if you got a hose and put it on a wall and it sprayed back and you could see it. He said you can't see it or feel it. But the way the sun was coming in, or the ultraviolet light, I think it was in a nightclub or something like that. I think he said ultraviolet light now that I'm just recalling that piece of information from my vast memory banks, dear, my vast memory banks. I think he might have said ultraviolet light. In the ultraviolet light, you could actually see this not spray, mist coming back at you. And of course, if that's coming back at you, what about everyone else standing there in the line? Oh, I don't like those urinals. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I like to go in a little cupboard and shut the door. Can't bear urinals. You know, you're trying to mind your own, and then someone looks. Oh no, I can't stand it. Can't stand it. Oh God, no. Do you like going? They don't seem to bother people. I can't. You know, you're trying to go there, and you look straight ahead. You don't dare look either side, do you? When you're standing there, holding it. You're looking that way, and then you're aware that someone's gone. No. Oh no, dear. Can't be doing a urinal. I wait for one of the lock-up ones, and some of those are disgusting, aren't they? Oh, the worst one I ever came across was in Cyprus. Oh God, at the airport. Oh no, don't even go there. Oh, on my first visit to Cyprus, which was last March. It was around this time last March. So we got off the plane. We've come through the passport thing, which is all automatic. Oh, yes. Very good. Very good. They've got all these machines there, and you put your passport down on this thing, and I think it takes a go to the camera like that. It takes a photo. Takes a photo of you, and then the ticket comes out, and then you give that to another bloke, and you're in. That's it. That's it. None of that business, you know, with the important people. They got your passport. I'm going to use this raffle ticket as an example. This pretend that this is my passport. Okay, you know how they are. You know, so you got your passport there, and there he is sitting there. He's sitting there like that, and he said, "Thank you very much, sir." That's it. Very, very important job. There's very, very important people there. No, you haven't got to do that. You just give them this little ticket and you're in. Anyway, I wanted to go, didn't I? So I thought, I must go before I go down to my bags. Well, I opened the door on this toilet and the smell hit. Oh, blah! Oh, it was awful. Oh, God. It stank in this toilet. The worst smelling toilet. I'm not in the cubicle. This is the toilet as a whole. So on the left, there they are, the disgusting urinals, people looking at each other's bits while they're standing there. And then I opened the first door and it was blocked. Oh, God. Not only was it blocked, the water was at the top of the toilet. And then I thought, what is that smell? It must be that. Then I went in the other one. That's where the smell was coming from. I had no choice. I had no choice. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I had to use it. That's all I'm saying. No more information will be provided on this subject while you're sitting there having your sausage, eggs, and baked beans, possibly with brown HP sauce on it. No, I'm not going to continue that conversation. Thank you very much. Let's move on. Alan, do you think that this is the way the country is going to be from now? That's what I was just saying there, Alan. Yes, I do. I think there's going to be a lot of changes. We are not going to be in the same position as we were 6 weeks ago. There's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of which has already happened now. People working from home, I can see that carrying on. I think it's a good idea. I think it's an excellent idea. Why would you want to leave the house? I know some of you work like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. Why would you want to leave the house and get into a cold, you live freezing cold in the winter, ice on the ground, snow? You get in your car, well, you've got a good chance of sliding off the road and doing yourself some damage to that, using your petrol and all that to go to work. When you can get up, as I say, you've got to be fairly strict with yourself and sit at your little computer terminal or whatever it is and do your work from there. Sounds a much better idea. Good morning to Kemakan. Is it Kemakan? Kemakan, welcome to the show. Kemakan, welcome. Cassowary birds. That's it, Michael. Cassowary. Cassowary. I'm not really sure how you say that. They're the birds I was talking about. They're like little mini sort of mini ostriches. Perhaps not that much smaller, actually. And they've got a nasty blade on the end of their foot. Disemboweled. What a way to go, dear. All your bits. You'd see all your bits hanging out, wouldn't you? On the floor. Pick them all up. Always carry a roll of gaffer tape. I told you before about that. Morning fun things to do with tech. A very good morning to you. Oh, Mandy. Well, you came. Kemaklan is in Turkey. A warm welcome along to you. I've not been to Turkey. I've been to Cyprus. But not Turkey yet. My friend has been to Turkey. He loves it very much. He loves the hairdressers there. He always has his hair cut properly in Turkey. You know, I think Turkish hairdressers are probably the best ones. And he had the wax up the nose and in the ears. He said, oh, it's awful. You know, you put this green wax, I think it's green, wax up your nose, right, to pull out the little hairs. And it works very effectively. But, you know, doing that, have you ever tried to pull a hair out your nose with a pair of tweezers? How much does that hurt? No, not for me. You get those tweezers and, oh, pain, dear. And all your eyes start watering, don't they? Horrible. Where are we? Oh, let's just scroll out there. Good morning to Trevor Campbell. Is this the Bouquet Show? Good morning to you. Tony King, bright colours all round. Banish the beige. I like that. Banish the beige. Yeah. Christ, how much is he having for breakfast? Fun thing to do with tech. 5 bacon, 4 fried eggs, 4 sausages, baked beans, 6 toast. No, you don't have that for breakfast. Surely not. Really? That's a lot of breakfast. There's me downstairs this morning with my apricot Wheaties and blueberries. Apricot Wheaties, available from Aldi. Very nice. Mike's on a week's paid leave. Good luck. And then a week's unpaid after that. We might be furloughed. That's a new word, isn't it? Furloughed. We've just learnt that word. Furloughed. Lots of new words are coming up as well. Furloughed. Coronavirus. Who ever heard of coronavirus before that happened? Not me. Morning to LaBelle. Your emerald-eyed bouquet of magic is here. Hello to you. John's been to Tesco's at 7:30 this morning. Gosh, that was early. Although I went early as well, which I'll tell you about in a second or two. Thank you, Luke. It's an app and a website, the Zoom thing. Right, I'll have a look at that. Where are we? John can't go to a urinal. I always use a cubicle. Me too. Weatherspoons is the worst. Is it really? I don't think I've ever been in there. I've never really been in there. Kemakan has his own sub-channel there. If you want to look at it, just click on the 3 little dots there, all right? Am I keeping up there? There we are. John's been to a Turkish barber shop in Istanbul. They give you a lovely head massage. That's right. They do. You get all this business. They're very good at it. Very good at it. There's a particular one that I like to go to, actually. He's a bit young. He's probably about 22. And he's got a little bit of BO. But it's not unpleasant BO. I am attracted to that smell. It's not dirty BO. You know what dirty BO smells like, don't you? That's people who ain't shaved for ages. Dirty, disgusting people, dear. Dirty, disgusting people. Anyway, Mick's bag has arrived. Excellent, Mick. LaBelle's got nose hair trimmers, does the same without the pain. Yeah, I've got some of those. I've got one of those as well. Very good. Very good. It's got like a little round thing on the end, doesn't it? They're very good, actually. Very good indeed. Every 2 weeks he has a big breakfast. I was going to say, you don't have it every day, do you? Mind you, I used to do that once a week. I used to do it on Saturday mornings. When I was eating dead animals, I'd have some bacon and sausage and beans and fried onions as well, which gave me terrible wind, dear, fried onions. The smell is worse than the toilet in Cyprus, to be honest. Yeah. Anyway, so I went out on a couple of examples here of dirty, disgusting people. Okay? So I went out on my usual walk yesterday. My foot, right, okay. So I'm having problems with my foot. It's not when I'm walking. It's not when I'm standing. It's not when I'm sitting down and I have my 2 feet on the floor, sitting, shall we say, properly, right? The problem occurs when I'm laying down flat like that, on my back, and the foot's up, and a duvet or something is over it like that. Then I start getting pain. And it's quite awful, really. Last night, and the other one is, I have a habit of sitting with my left leg like that, at an angle under my right leg. You've probably seen me sitting in here like that. Terrible habit like that. That's become a real problem, that is. And last night, when I was sitting in such a position, I was getting tingling in my big toe. So there's obviously something going on there. The last thing I want to do is go into a doctor's or a hospital at the moment. So I'm hoping that it will pass. Most things do actually pass, don't they? I was thinking about that last night. Certainly when you're younger, sometimes you go to bed and, I don't feel well. I just go to bed. And you wake up in the morning and you're perfectly all right again. Why doesn't that happen so much when you're older? Not just when we've had this nasty virus thing. It's true, isn't it? And things would pass so much more quickly. You might, as a small child, you fall over. Oh, Mum, I've hurt my knee. And then, for a couple of hours, you're hurting, and then it's gone. Pain and suffering has gone. But as you get older, the pain and suffering seems to hang around a lot longer. Have you noticed that? Eh? Have you noticed that? And I'm kind of hoping that my thing there, where, when I had that pain there, that's gone now. It was there for about 3 or 4 weeks, wasn't it? A long time. Eventually I went to the doctor, and as always happens, you go to the doctor, they weren't sure what it was. She mentioned stomach. Have you got a lot of wind? And I didn't think about that. And I thought, do you know what? You're probably right. And then, hey presto, 2 weeks later, it's gone. It's gone. But it does take a much longer time to recover from things. Absolutely, as you get older. My friend Ray Reynolds doesn't look like he's here this morning. He said, when you talk about people having a fall, okay, when you're young, you've fallen over, isn't it? Oh, for example, I was going to say great niece or something then. You don't want to tempt fate. So, I don't know, little Johnny who's down the road there, running along, 7 years old, falls over. Oh, it's fallen over. Are you all right? And then a little bit of tears, a little bit of a scuffed knee. Mum comes over, dad, whoever's looking after, brushes the knee, gives him a kiss, hobbles for about 2 minutes, and then he's fine again. Not if you're older. You haven't fallen over, you've had a fall. Very serious. Older people, they fall over, they've broken a hip. They haven't scuffed their knee, they've broken their hip. Why is that? Dave Moses, never cross your legs unless you're bursting. I don't know. Michael, the foot problem sounds like it's time to check out a retirement village. You cheeky bastard. You cheeky git. A retirement village? I don't think so, Sunshine. I can't think of anything worse. How boring is that? Retirement villages, although much preferable to perhaps an old people's retirement home, they're just awful. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these people, they do their best for the older people that are in there, and there's nowhere else for them to go. But you see them, they get up in the morning, they're all fed and all that, yeah, but there just seems to be no life in a lot of these places. They then all go into this communal room and sit in front of the telly until lunchtime. And then lunch comes and they're all fed and watered again, and then they sit in the front of the telly until dinner time. They have their dinner and they watch a bit of telly and then they go to bed at 7 o'clock at night. I mean, I don't know. You kind of think to yourself, well, what's the point? You know what I mean? No, not retirement villages are better. They have their own like little flats in sort of a looked after group of flats, don't they? And stuff like that, which is quite a good thing. Retirement village, you need to slap. Mandy, Michael Pullman, please. Michael Pullman, please, darling. Pain and suffering for Michael Pullman this morning. I hope one of those birds gets you, Michael, next time you're in the forest. Cassandra or whatever Cassaray or whatever they're called. Or a spider. I hope a redback gets you. It's alive in those forests, you know. Spiders, snakes, nasty birds, all sorts in there. And don't be thinking koala bears are necessarily little friendly. They don't come up to you, koala bears, you know. Oh, pick me up, I want you to cuddle me. No, they scratch your blooming face to pieces. Have you seen the claws on a koala bear? Sod that. Don't think so. Give me my pussy cat any day of the week. I haven't got her anymore. Give me a cat any day of the week. Morning to George Bond. Alan, I think as you get older, you noticed ailment more. Yeah, quite possibly, actually. Yeah, quite possibly. I think you might be right about that. Adam, can you keep the show on air for another 2 hours? As I've got a call out to Brighton, please, so I have your company. 2 hours, dear. I'll have to go to the toilet at some point. I had to have a wee break yesterday, didn't I? I had to have a wee break. I couldn't hold it any longer. Dave Moses is lucky. When he wants a wee break, he just puts a record on and runs down the end of his radio. I guess your radio thing's been put on hold at the moment, is it, David? Eh? What was I talking about? I saw something about radio the other day. We were talking about local DAB. Oh, you're on local DAB now. That's a new thing, isn't it? Relatively new sort of thing. Morning to Alex Brunt. Good morning, Alan. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you, Mandy. I can see you playing a giant game of Hungry Hippos at your retirement home. I hope you're not suggesting I'm one of the hippos, Dave. I feel like I'm being attacked by you this morning. I do feel I'm being attacked for this morning. John held a koala, scratched my shoulder. There you go. Evil things. I think the Chinese have got the right way there. Eat the things. Eat them. Eat them. Eat them into extinction. That's what you got to do. Anyway, so yesterday I went over the forest as I always do in the morning. As I say, no problem with my foot when I'm walking. It's when I'm resting that's the problem. And it's drying out there now at last. There were some massive puddles over there. There were areas you couldn't go because it was so wet. There's nowhere for the water to go. It was absolutely saturated. But that appears to be drying out now. How sad, though. How sad. And I'll tell you what made me sad yesterday. I've been going over there for some years, on and off, you know. And the last time I went over there, after I started this little session, because that's the only way we can exercise now, it's either get your bike out and go for a cycle, although you're actually not allowed to cycle in the forest. I only discovered this yesterday. You're not allowed to cycle over there. There are people, not many, but there are people with bikes over there. You used to be able to. You'd have to go to this place called the Lookout, which is like a warden's thing, the people that look after the forest. And you'd buy this little piece of plastic, and you literally you just hook it around your bicycle, and that would be for the year. And it was something like 25 quid for the year. And for that 25 quid, you could go over the forest, although you were supposed to stick to certain dedicated cycle paths. Okay, so that was all right. And then I do remember everyone getting an email who had one of these things, and I had one, saying that bikes are going to be banned over there because of lots of complaints. Now, I get that. I actually got that. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes on a Saturday or a Sunday, they would have bike races over there. Oh, my God. And there would be hundreds of these blooming bikes everywhere going around the cycle tracks. Well, I was on a path once and just minding my own business, and suddenly 2 bikes were coming towards me. 2. Right? And I looked at them. Did they slow down? No. And you know the sort. They got the hats on, they got the tight lycra, and they're all overweight. Those sort of people. What do they look like? Bright green and yellow lycra. Anyway, they're coming straight at me. I just stood there like that. Stood there like that. Frightening. And that's probably why. Those bike races on there, they stopped them all. Thank God for that. They were blooming dangerous. Cyclists are I'm a cyclist. I stop at red lights. I don't take risks. Right? Go to London and see what the cyclists are like there. What a nightmare they are. Absolutely. Go jump into red lights. Most of them. Not some of them. Most of them. They jump the red lights. Some of them are weird. It's so dangerous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so they stopped all that over there, which is good. So now you can go over there, and there are a couple of cyclists over there, but actually they're not too bad. They tend to be, they would be someone like me on a bike. You know, sort of gently going. Okay, the hills. They're not racing like mad, like these blooming racers on their bikes. So I'm walking around, and you could go over there, and you wouldn't see any rubbish at all. Nothing. You go over there for an hour, nothing. That's in the last week. That's changed, right? Okay, it's not become a rubbish tip, but certainly you can see rubbish now being thrown away on there by people that don't use the forest. It'll be people that haven't normally been there. 1 litre empty bottles of Coca-Cola, the occasional beer bottle, 1 or 2 bags of crisps. Now, so yesterday, in my hour walk, I was only over there an hour yesterday. In my hour's walk, I saw, and you'll probably think I'm being silly here, I saw approximately 7 pieces of rubbish. But those 7 pieces of rubbish weren't there a couple of weeks ago. You see what I mean? You could go on your whole trip and not see any rubbish. So I'm afraid trashy, awful people are now going over there and just dropping rubbish wherever they feel. That and the blooming poo bags, the dog poo bags. I mean, if you're not going to take there's no bins over there. It's like a rough and like a heath. No, like a heath, if you were to go to the Highlands of Scotland, you haven't got blooming bins everywhere. Well, there's no bins over there either. You know. But if you're not going to pick up your dog poo in the bag and take it home, you might as well let the dog poo and then don't put it in a bag. That's just stupid. Because it's not going to disintegrate, is it? Unless they are special bags that do disintegrate. I don't know how it works. I haven't got a dog, unfortunately. I've been out with a few. Awful. So that is just such a shame to see that happening. You kind of know that that's going to get worse while this carries on. People going over there with their children, have a bag of crisps and then just throw it on the floor. Why? Why do they do that? Why? Morning to Mixed Mowers. Good morning, Mick. Welcome to our show, young Mick. So that's over there. Not only that, joggers. Now, I don't have a problem with people jogging, but it's a bit dangerous in this climate, don't you think? We're supposed to keep 2 metres away. Again, the joggers don't move over. You know, I move over one way, and you think they're going to move over. Nope, they carry on straight down the middle of the path. Idiots. And then there's the joggers, the breathing, you know. And you think, surely that must be coming out of your mouth more than 2 metres, dear. And then the occasional disgusting spitting. And they think that's a perfectly normal thing. Well, a lot of people think that's a normal thing to do. Spitting on the ground. Dirty, swallow it, dear. Swallow it or put it in a piece of tissue and take it home with you. Such filthy, dirty people. As I say, not many bikes, but you're not supposed to cycle over there anyway. Yesterday afternoon, my mate came around. He dropped some shopping off. He'd been to Click and Collect, and that's something I haven't done before. But he's going around to a few different. He's got so many deliveries coming in. It's unbelievable. But he went to Asda yesterday. Now the Asda in, not the one closest to us. We don't have a close Asda to us. It's like a 20-minute journey there and back. He went to the one in Farnborough. I think he had a click and collect thing in Farnborough. And he said you don't have to get out of the car if you don't want to. You drive into this thing, and then the bloke knocks on the window, and I think he said you have to sign something. And then he said, do you mind putting it in the boot for us? And he pushes the button on his car, right? The boot opens. The bloke puts all the stuff into the back of his car in bags, closes the boot, and off he goes. No touching at all. No touching whatsoever. Or anything like that. And then from there, he went to Waitrose. Went in there. Because he gets, he's disabled, my friend. He has a lot of bits and pieces wrong with him. And he went round to Waitrose, and he says that he parked in his usual disabled parking spot, come out of there. And he said, oh, this queue here. He said the queue. And a member of staff spotted him and said, just come straight through, please, sir. Oh, I was just got joining the queue. No, you don't have to queue if you're disabled. Oh, do you want to see my... And he said, no, we don't need to see what's wrong with you. They just accept it. As is the case, you know, a lot of disabilities are... you can't see them. Absolutely, you can't see them. Why should you have to explain to someone that you've got diabetes? Or, I don't know, or just had a heart operation or something. Why should you have to explain that to someone? Anyway, so he's come around the queue. People not happy, are they? He said you could hear them moaning at the queue that I'd gone in first. So I went in and got a few bits and pieces. And he came round here, and I said, well, ring me and don't get out of the car. Because of his back. He's got bad back. So he rang me, and I went out to the car, and he'd opened his boot, and I took my shopping out, went back, you know, no touching, no communication, fair distance from each other, and that was all fine. That was all fine. You know, I come back here. You know, I wash all my shopping now, don't you? I do. I wash my shopping. So I put the bags back. I put the bags on the floor, right? I've emptied my shopping out, filled up the sink with hot water and fairy whatever it is from Aldi, Almat or whatever it is. Put that in there, lots of suds, and I start washing my shopping. Soya milk in there, wash it down, put it on the side. Oranges in particular, because they come from Spain. I was a bit concerned about orange. I had some more oranges delivered. Apples. I kept them in the bag. Anything that was in a sealed plastic bag is fantastic, of course. You know, and it's got to be sealed because you don't want to be opening a packet of biscuits and they got soapy water in them. Not very tasty, dear. Although it may add to the taste on some of those bland ones, dear. And I washed all my shopping, the cheese, everything. Washed all the shopping, put it on the side, waiting for it to dry. You probably think I'm being so careful. You really do. Scotty, people dumping rubbish and dog poo really annoy me. It's awful, isn't it? Awful. Rachel, it's because they're too lazy to put the rubbish in the pockets and take it home. Horrible. No dogging, Shaun. Let's not talk about all the stuff that you get up to on here, dear. You're just start upsetting people. It's not one of those shows. There's plenty of shows that do that sort of thing if you're interested. Alan and I had a cyclist creeping up on my left when I was driving a lorry. There you go. I mean, how stupid are they, Alan? These blooming cyclists, they want to die. You know, even if you're in the wrong, and I'm sure you weren't, even if you were in the wrong, can they not see the size of your large articulated truck? And if someone makes a mistake, you are likely to die. No, I'm right, so I shall carry on. What a blooming load of idiots those cyclists are. I don't know what it is with them. I really don't. And of course, you know, if you knock one off, it's your fault. You know, the fact that they've been squeezing in this tiny little... Have you seen them squeezing between cars that are moving? I mean, at any point, the car might decide to go like that. And that's it, they're crushed, dead. Stupid people. Alan had a cyclist creeping up on his left when he was driving a lorry in London. Thank God I saw him because he would be dead now. Yeah, and it wasn't your fault. But in law, it is. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, isn't it? Stupid cyclists, they really are. Not all of them, most of them. Yeah, not all of them, most of them. It's true. Anyway, so that was my shopping. Now this morning, and click and collect, which sounds quite a good thing. Apparently, it's quite. You can get click and collect. What do you call them? Appointments. It's the delivery thing that people are having trouble with. There we are. Try and get some Milton spray. Oh, Milton spray. Oh, I know that. That's got bleach. I know that smells of bleach, doesn't it? Milton spray. I'll have a look on the Amazon for that. Milton spray. I do have some bleach spray. If it's like stuff that's hot, sensitive, so to speak, then I put the bleach spray on it and give it a wipe down like that. Yeah. Very important. You don't know. One mistake, that's all it costs you. One mistake. One mistake. I made a mistake this morning, I'll tell you that now. Because this morning, I woke up, 7:15 I woke up, all right? And I thought, well, I'll go down the co-op. I'll go down the co-op because there won't be anyone in there. Surely it'll be dead now. I know older people, older than me, like in their 60s and 70s, they like to go to the newsagent and get themselves a newspaper, don't they? I know that's quite a normal thing to happen. My aunt used to do it, and various, I think Ray Reynolds, I can't remember if he does it as well. But often when I was at work, working for British Telecom, and I would cycle past shops and that, you always see a lot of old people, very old, much older, in the sort of 70s, 60s and 70s, going down the newsagent or a shop, for their morning paper. I mean, I don't do it now. I just log on and, I've got all these news stories here to read you out this morning, which I haven't done any of them, once again. Dear, you can't win, can you? And that's kind of what they do. So I thought I'll get down there early. So I've had my breakfast, my Wheaties, my apricot Wheaties and blueberries and milk and a cup of tea, and my special anti-constipation powder, right? And I left the house and I walked about sort of round the top of the house and the other houses that are next to me, and down. I got like a quarter of the way there, and then the IBS started. I thought, oh, here we go. And the thing is with IBS, any of you, I know one or two of you suffer from IBS. When you get the warning, you need to go, right? Don't think you're going to make it to that shop and back again. You're not. End of story, you're not. Right, okay. So I immediately, believe me, I've almost come a cropper many times. Never actually happened. It's not actually happened yet. I've been so close to having the most terrible accident. Really have. So, oh God. Right, okay, I come straight back again, right? So there we are, and left the house again. And I thought, I'll get down to that car. Now, so this would be 10 to 8 in the morning. No one around. Bit misty out this morning, bit misty, bit dark, but not cold. Right at this moment, it's quite nice out there. Can you see that? No, it's a bit white, isn't it there? Too white for you to see out there. It's actually quite pleasant out there. I look forward to my walk over the forest today. So I'm walking down, one elderly lady with her granny trolley, the square granny trolley. She's walking along with her little dog, which was one of those, what are they called? Not a Scottish Terrier, another Jack Russell. She's got a Jack Russell there. So she's walking. As I've got close to her, I've moved right over the other side. Morning, my love. She said, oh, good morning. She's not cold, is it? I said, no, my love. And I got to the shop and I looked in there. I could only see 3 people in there. And the member of staff, who's a lovely lady, actually. She's probably about the same age as me. I think she's a girl's girl, if you see what I mean. I think she's a lady who likes ladies, but I've never mentioned it. I do put on the campness a little bit if I think someone's in the same boat as us. Anyway, yes, Scotty's got celiac, so he knows the pain. I know, Mandy. Rachel, I know. Milton's is bleach-free, is it? Oh, okay. Anything in choosing terms. Gavin's... Oh, morning, Gavin. His Tesco's does click and collect as well. M&S are doing click and collect. Are they really? Gosh. Oh, I'm missing the M&S crisps. Honey roast crisps from M&S. Gorgeous. Anyway, so got to the car. So I thought, right, okay. Hardly anyone in here. Brilliant. Right? So there's a youngish group. 3 people. There's a lad about 30, and there's his girlfriend, tight tracksuit, the sort, and someone else with them. So there I am. I've spotted the potatoes because I'm nearly out of potatoes, you see. So I've got 2 lots of potatoes, and I'm just moving down towards, because I wanted some butter, okay? And this lad starts coughing. No hand, no tissue, like that. I thought, oh my God. I wanted to say something. I thought, no, move. You're wasting your time saying something. Move as quick as you get. I'd come straight round and round to the other aisle. I couldn't wait to get out. I couldn't wait to get out of there. So I've come round there and got another couple of bits. I thought, oh God, I want some blueberries. I've gone round and it's still standing there in the same place. So I looked over from afar. I couldn't see any blueberries, so I've left those. Come round, got some yogurt, and some flat garlic bread. Oh, it's so nice in the co-op. I'm sure that's gone up. £2. That looks like they put that up in a sealed plastic bags. I thought, well, I'll be able to watch that. So I've got all this stuff in the basket, and I've come to the till. Now, money is a bit of a no-no at the moment. We don't want to be using money. The stuff lives on money. You don't want cash. Always use your card at the moment. So I've done this thing. The lady there has now moved. She's doing a shelf or something like that, right? Stacking a shelf. And I could hear this bloke coughing. And all I heard was, oh, you'll have to wipe that down now. And I thought, I think it was him who said that. And I think, don't tell me you've been bloody coughing on stuff around here. And now you're telling her to wipe up your mess. Dirty bastard. Dirty, disgusting people. In this climate now, I thought. Awful. Anyway. So I'm at the till and I've got my card and I've put all my things through, right? And I'm putting the card on this. I'm not used to doing this, you see. I'm always cash. I put my card on this thing and it's not bleeping. It says... first of all, I've put it in there and it says use contactless. So you can put your number in. I don't know why. Nothing's happening. So, of course, I've had to call the lady over. Last thing I wanted to do, really. Right, so she's come over. Now, she's quite close to me now because she's trying to work the thing. And I thought, oh, my God, I'm breathing in her exhaled breath. She's a lovely lady, don't get me wrong. But you're trying to separate yourself. So eventually we did it. What had happened? I hadn't pushed the thing on the screen that says check out or whatever, like large blue button. I mean, how you can miss it, I do not know. And that's why the little card reader hadn't come into operation. It waits for you to do that. Anyway, so she's done. There you go, my love. Tap it on there now, and then it worked. Fab. Okay, so that worked, and then it was out. And I thought, well, what a great trip that was. First of all, you got a bloke coughing away in the corner. Right? And then the lady on the till, through no fault of her own, had to come over and was very close to me. And I don't want to be close to people at the moment. You can understand that. I'm sure some of you are the same. So I wish I hadn't gone there, to be honest. I got so early and hardly anyone in there. And one of the 4 people that are in there is coughing his guts up and not doing anything about it. Disgusting, dirty, filthy, horrible people. That's what they are. Now, I understand sometimes you can get a cough or a sneeze from nowhere with no more warning. I get that. This bloke had plenty of warning. Dirty people. Were you wearing your mask? Well, that's not going to stop stuff coming in. This is not a medical grade mask. You know? It's just a bit of stuff, material. And also, you wouldn't want to throw something like that away, would you? You know? With those masks that you buy, I'm sure you can probably get them if you look for them. With the medical masks that you can buy, you're supposed to wear them and then chuck them away. Well, I wouldn't want to chuck that away. My sister made that for me, you see. We have one available, actually, tomorrow to win. I don't know where that's gone, actually. I think it's fallen on the floor over there. But we do have one of these to win tomorrow at the main game at Bingo. Although, I must point out, these are not... tested or anything like that against bacteria. Dust, probably, I'll be all right. Dust. Dr. Gregorian, new plastic notes are all right. The bacteria and viruses cannot live on plastic. Is that right? Well, I don't know about that. Good morning to Classic Gamer. Good morning to you. Should have got some Dettol spray and sprayed it in his face. I mean, why? Honestly, Why would you do that? David in Hemel says Bracknell is a magnet for scumbags. Dettol spray. I've got Dettol spray, actually. I've actually got that, as you well know there. Dave Moses. Keir Starmer is the new Labour leader now. Oh, wow. Well, so all this, they make me laugh, that party, that Labour Party. We don't do politics on here, right? We're not going to say that, and that. But, right? So they're always going on about women's rights, the Labour Party, aren't they? Am I right? Always going on about women's rights, which is perfectly understandable. Women should have exactly the same rights as men, as far as I'm concerned. Yet, they had 4 people in that Labour leadership race, 3 of which were women. And who's got the job? The bloke. Well done, lads. Well done. They say one thing and do something else. 3 women were up for that job, and they've given it to the bloke. Is that right, David? Child, you couldn't make it up, could you? And the other party, the Conservative Party, the so-called nasty party, which the Labour people like to call them, they've had 2 now. Okay, one not so successful, but nevertheless, they've had 2. They scream and shout, "Oh, you're a racist party," and all that. Have you seen the front bench? Oh dear, they make me die, these Labour people. They really do. Shocking. Absolutely shocking, that. Rachel, they should put up the amount you use as contactless. You can only use £30. I thought they had put that up temporarily. Rachel, perhaps someone could look up that now for us. I think or maybe they've put it up from 20 to 30. I'm sure that has increased recently, the whole contactless thing. Your mask is washable, Chris. Oh, I wouldn't want to put that in the wash, my dear. Look at it. It's an item of beauty created by my sister there. Hand wash the masks. There's a few people saying that you can wash them and use them again. What did your sister make them for? Well, for fun, my darling. There we are. For fun. There we are. Yeah. And look. They extend as well right across your face. Isn't it great? Someone might win one of those tomorrow if you choose that as your main prize thing. Up to you. There's only one of those available to be won. Oh, I asked my sister if she'd make some. We reckon a £5, and she'd send them out from her house, as someone suggested yesterday. So that saves on the postage. So she can probably knock those out for a £5 if anyone's interested. Okay. All right. £5 on the PayPal. So 6, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. 5 on PayPal, 7 on Super Chat for one of those. Okay, if you want. So she'll have to see how much material. I don't suppose many people would want those. Contactless is £45. I thought that had gone up. Yeah, I thought that had gone up. Alan, it's a shame that everything we have gone through over the last century, this is the one we have to be so careful. You couldn't make it up because you really, never thought anything like this would come along. Any mask is better than none. Yeah, you're probably right there, Mick, actually. You're probably right there. Yeah, okay. Michael, the virus lives on plastic notes, says Michael. I thought that. Yeah, I did think that. I'm not doing cash at all at the moment. I'm not doing cash at all. Shaun, it is £45 there, apparently. Rachel's sending her husband's going shopping, so she didn't know. Yeah, he's telling you that. 30 quid, so you don't have to spend so much, Rachel. That's why. Contactless, £45. There we go. £45, people are saying. I thought it was. I thought it had gone up a little bit. I only spent £7 in there. Not too much. Right, how are we doing? Oh, 1 hour and 21. I haven't done any stories at all, have I? We must do a couple. Look, avoid DIY. We're talking about DIY earlier, weren't we? And the fact that, I wish I had the patience to paint and decorate, and I haven't. I'd put up half a strip of wallpaper and I'd be bored. Painting, exactly the same. I find that one of the most boring things you can possibly do. Claire wants a mask for a £5. Okay, well, I won't do it today. I'll ask her how many she can do. All right? Don't send anything now, and I'll ask her. But remember, these are not qualified as to stop things coming in there. All right? In the Daily Mirror this morning, it says doctors are urging Brits to avoid gardening or DIY jobs around the house during the coronavirus lockdown. They're concerned that work may result in injuries. So it's not necessarily the virus to get you with this one, or it might do. You see, if you're painting up a ladder, you fall off, you break a leg, you'll need to go to hospital, right? That's the last place you want to be at the moment. The NHS staff, as fantastic and brilliant as they all are, and my heart goes out to them, you do not really want to be in a hospital unless you absolutely have to at the moment. So avoid all that. I mean, you could argue that when I go over the forest, I could trip over like a root that's coming out of the ground or something like that, couldn't I? When you think about it. Terrible. Terrible, really. All right. So don't do DIY unless you're absolutely safe. I suppose, you could do a little bit of painting, a little picture or something like that, couldn't you? Eh? Painting by numbers. Anyone do that? Painting by numbers? Actually, my sister does colouring. Adult colouring books, she does. I don't know what they mean by adult colouring books. Does that mean they're like naked people and you have to paint them? Who wants a raffle ticket? Speak now. The British Association of Plastic Reconstructive and Anaesthetic Surgeons is urging Brits to avoid starting any task that could lead to injury, as it could divert NHS staff and resources away from the current coronavirus at hand. So there we are. Not advisable to do anything that could put yourself at risk, boys and girls. Morning to John Paris this morning. There we are. Mandy wants a mask as well, so that's 2. Okay. I'll tell her I'll see if I can get 5 out of her, all right? 5 out of her. And they will come direct from her. So I'll send you her address. I'll send her your address and it will come straight there. That will avoid 2 lots of postage. All right, my loves? Rachel then, 485 for Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. 486 for Michael Lawrence. Shaun Pye, 487. Mick Davenport, 488. Claire L, 489. Tony King, 490. 491 for Fran Green. 492, Mandy Davenport. Ross Herndon, 493. 494, Diane Jebb. Alan Wainwright, 495. Michael Porban, 496. From my famous retirement village. I wonder if that'll ever happen. Good morning and welcome to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from the Bracknell Retirement Village. We'll carry on doing the karaoke. Someone would mind, wouldn't they? Ow, why does it have to be so loud? David's got to cancel launching a rocket from his backside. Well, you seem to do that quite often in the pub, David, when I'm walking past you, because it stinks. He stinks. I never realised the smell of death until you came and started coming along to the pub, David. Morning, Adrian Richardson. Anyone else for a raffle ticket? Please speak now. Well, I'm not going to do these stories now because it's 11 o'clock now. We must get moving, otherwise nothing will happen. Do you know what I mean? Not that we need to stick to time or anything at the moment, do we? Dave Moses, thank you, and one for Barry Manilow as well. It looks like he's given up on his career. Dave Moses, 497. Colin Coates, 498. Adrian, 499. And David and Hemel, number 500. David and Hemel gets number 500. Yeah, sorry, LaBelle. Yeah, sorry, LaBelle. It's no stories. I've made the mistake of concentrating too much on the messages today, and we must get some stories out there. That's really. I'm disappointed with myself this morning. Yeah, we haven't done any stories. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 9 stories there. which I should have done this morning, but time is ticking away there. So sorry about that, gang. Right, okay, let's do today's birthdays, gang. Happy birthday on this Saturday, the 4th of April 2022. JoAnna Evola. I haven't seen JoAnna on here for ages. Is she okay? JoAnna Evola. Haven't seen her for ages. Happy birthday, JoAnna. Suz Razak. S-Z-E. How do you say that? Suz Razak. Happy birthday to you. Jay Passy. Does horses, don't you? 47 today. Denni Michelle Evans today. 51 years old. JoAnna Evola, as I say, 55 today. Jamie Friel is 45. DJ Vass, 49. Alison Alman, morning. Shaun Ryan, morning Shaun. He's in Australia as well. One of my cousin's sons, I think, 46 years old today. Shaun, happy birthday to you. Mark Geddes, morning Mark. And Dan Moore is 30 today. You're looking good now, Dan. I fancy you now. Sorry, you don't mind me saying that, do you? You look really good now that you've grown up a bit. Happy birthday to Dan Moore and indeed everyone else whose birthday is on this Saturday morning. He says, looking for the birthday. Where is it? There it is. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Twice. Coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. There's my sister there. Ticket number 501, Shaun. And Tay joining us at the end of the show there. Ticket number 502 for Tay. Shania. Ticket number 504. Shania. Ticket number 503 for Shania. LaBelle. Ticket number 504 for LaBelle. Ticket number 505 for Simon. Simon Steele. And one man and his Sprinter van. I just saw come up there. Ticket number 506. And Jayson Hughes, number 507. Some late ones coming in there. Sprinter van, 506. Jayson Hughes, 507. Is that everyone there? Colin K, 508. And I think we're done there. I think we're done. Yeah, sis, I was just some people asking for masks. Can you do £5 each? We sort of agreed on those. Unless you're on a super chat, which would be £7 on super chat, because I'll have to then take that out and send it to you like that. So they come straight to you if that's all right, Sharon. All right, 508. Who was 508? Was it Colin? Colin K 508. Colin K 508. Marilyn Soper. Oh, you're new, aren't you? Good morning, Marilyn Soper. Morning to you. 509 for Marilyn. I think you're new. We have the raffle on Mondays, Marilyn, between sort of 9 and 10 o'clock UK time, that sort of time, all right? So the raffle is done on Monday, and you now have a ticket for it. Marilyn Soper and Adam the Plumber as well. Adam the Plumber. All righty. Right, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for joining us, Adam, 510. We'll wrap it up there. Excellent. Okay, thanks so much for joining us on the show today. The next show, of course, is tomorrow night for the bingo. The bingo starts at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is bingo time tomorrow. Often we start the show a little bit before that and have a bit of a chat. But the bingo itself starts at 8 o'clock. We've got a lot more people who have registered this week. If you know anyone else that wants to register for the bingo, just tell them to send me an email to that address and I'll happily add them to the system. All right, my darlings. Shaun's going to have a look to see how many of those she can make for you, and I'll let you know tomorrow. Yeah, a couple of people have said they wanted one. It'd be quite nice to have a couple as prizes as well, if you don't mind, sis. So there you are, something for you to do this afternoon. Have a nice day, boys and girls. Time for my walk over the forest. I might even take a bag up there and pick up rubbish, actually. Yeah. I might do that. I've got a litter picker. I don't really want to carry a litter picker with me though, do I? Oh dear! You see me going over there with, like, one of those big plastic bags or something like that, and my litter picker. It's got these tongs at the end, so you don't have to touch anything disgusting and dirty. I suppose I could. Do I really want to carry that over there? I think it's a nice thing to do, to pick up litter, don't you? I do it around my house all the time. Oh yes, once a week I go out around here. Dirty, disgusting people are picking up this stuff. Why do they do it? Why do they do it? Never mind. Anyway, see you tomorrow then, sometime before 8 o'clock for our bingo night. Have a lovely Saturday. Cheerio now.